If anybody wants to talk to me afterwards, please just call me Dirk. Thanks for the opportunity to let me talk to you guys today. Before I go into my slides, I would like you guys' participation in a little experiment. Close your eyes, relax, now hold your breath. Okay, breathe. So who started panicking at around 5 seconds, thinking, oh my God, it's getting kind of hard, and who cheated? Who was like breathing in between? But look, this is how respiratory patients that have chronic lung disease feel every day. And it's becoming a growing problem worldwide, right? It's currently the third largest killer worldwide. 1 in 20 has a chronic lung disease. And in the United States, COPD is the third largest cause for rehospitalizations. So there's a huge problem when it comes to costs. On the right-hand side, there's an article from The Lancet. And what it basically says, the older you get, the higher your chances of getting a chronic respiratory disease. And let me tell the guys in the room, at 70, your chances are 1 in 3. So this is a growing problem and a very scary thought. But what's even more worrisome is that we do not have enough healthcare providers that can address the issue. In the US, in 2022, were 15,000 pulmonologists. By 2030, it's estimated to be only 10,000. So you have a growing population of patients and fewer healthcare providers. And this is where Telesair comes in. We're looking to provide and bridge the gap between hospital quality of care into the home, connected through our AI-powered platform that allows the adjustment and the diagnosis of the treatment needed for these patients. So think about it this way. You're a pulmonologist and you're sitting in New York, you have a patient in California, you get an alert that says, hey, Mr. Smith is getting close to an exacerbation. You know, what treatment do you want to give them? Do you want to send them an extra piece of steroid or some antibiotics to treat them? Or do you want to turn up their oxygen supply? You can do all that with our platforms. And it's a singly connected, AI-powered cloud approach. Our chasm, or the chasm that we're crossing right now with our first device, is in the high flow oxygen therapy area. And what that really means, it's warm air that is humidified, that is delivered to the patients at high speeds, oxygen enriched, through a nasal cannula. So these patients are not at risk for any kind of lung injury that could occur if they had to get traditional ventilation. And of course, these patients can communicate, so they can tell the nurse when they're having an issue, and they can eat and drink. So their quality of life is much better and easier addresses their issues. So as I mentioned, our first approach with our first device is Bonhava. It's a high flow oxygen therapy device that is cleared in the United States and approved in Europe under MDR. It delivers some of the highest flow rates in the world at 80 liters per minute. It has a 2-minute and less disinfection time between patients compared to our major competitor, where it can take up to an hour, and has a front-facing screen, which was kind of recommended to us by a lot of clinicians that were treating COVID patients in the past, because it allows them to see the treatment and what the device delivers at a glance. In development, and we have prototypes of both of these right now, is our ResRobot platform. Think of it as a robotic platform that delivers multimodal treatments on the respiratory side, such as CPAP, BiPAP, high flow. It has oxygen generation on board, it has a battery on board, and it follows the patient around. So it provides them with mobility, and they're not tied to a long hose, which we sometimes see when it comes to treating patients in the home. And last but not least, we're developing a very simple ventilator. And that ventilator is geared to be used by nurses because as I said before, right, there is going to be a huge problem when it comes to healthcare providers treating respiratory disease. I'm sorry, my screen is not working up here. So, so one of the things that I said that brings our systems together is our AI-driven cloud platform, but also across all three systems, we're using the same consumables, which of course allows us to create economies of scale, and it provides us this razor blade approach when we're working in the field itself. And it really gives us the opportunity to do multiple things, right? So we've entered the $2 billion market of high fluorescent therapy. That is expected to grow by another $2 billion by 2030. And there's nothing like ResRobot currently in the marketplace. So it's a blue ocean, and it's projected to be an $80 billion market, right? And the US will be the biggest part of that. In 2023, there was already costs of more than $25 billion when it comes to just COPD treatment. Here's our team. Combined, we have more than 200 years of healthcare experience and experience in the respirator and ventilator space, covering all the big companies that are in this area, and really driven, and I'll get into that a little bit more, because this team was able to bring Bonhava to the market, through development and to the market in 32 months. And not just did we bring it to the market, right? We got MDR clearance in that time frame, which is extremely hard to do, but it's a very dedicated team. We're currently looking to raise our Series B, and we're looking for $30 million. We already got commitments for close to half of that. A lot of our prior investors are investing with us because we've delivered on all the things that we agreed upon as milestones in our A round. So when I think about respiratory and the ultimate respiratory patient, I think about Darth Vader, and I think you all remember from. And while it took a long time for Luke Skywalker to turn Darth Vader from the dark side, we're hoping that not R2-D2, but R2-O2 in the future will be able to turn Darth Vader to the light and provide a much better future for respiratory patients. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate it. And I have one of our Bonhava devices here. If you guys want to see it in action, come on by. And if you're daring enough, we'll put some water in it, and you can try high flow at 80 liters per minute. Thank you.